Join me while I make some stew beef, cabbage, rice, and cornbread. I started by cutting up my cabbage, and once they were all cut up, I washed them up. I coated the bottom of my pan with some olive oil so that I could brown my smoked turkey tails. I went ahead and dropped those in, and once they got brown and pretty, I added my cabbage. Now, my pot was overflowing, but no problem because I knew with time they would shrink down, and they did. After they shrunk down, I began seasoning it. I put some complete seasoning, onion powder, paprika, salt, and pepper in it. And once I got that seasoned, I flipped my cabbage around so that I could distribute the seasonings through and through, and also to prevent the bottom of the cabbage from overcooking while the top wasn't cooked. I let it cook for 25 minutes and it was cool. I went on to my stew beef, got them cleaned up and ready to season. I seasoned them with some Lawry seasoning salt, onion powder, paprika, garlic powder, Mrs. Dash, and of course, once I got it all seasoned, I massaged the seasoning in through and through. I coated the bottom of my pot with vegetable oil so that I could brown the stew beef. The intention was not to cook it thoroughly, but just to brown it. Once we got it all brown and pretty, I began my gravy process, and that was adding some all-purpose flour. I did not measure it. I just kind of sprinkled it in. I'm sorry. Once I got that in, I began to stir that around to allow that flour to brown and so the gravy doesn't taste doughy. But after that, I added a carton of beef broth to it. And once I added that beef broth to it, I added some cream of mushroom. And y'all, I was struggling to get this cream of mushroom soup out of this can, but I got her done. And then after that, I added 2 envelopes of onion soup mix. I used generic. And then I added a half of onion, a half of green bell pepper, and a half of red bell pepper. And I stirred that to incorporate everything together. I stirred it for about a good 5 minutes. Once I felt comfortable, I put a lid on it and let it work. After about an hour and a half, this is what we look like. And it was looking good, thickening up. So I decided to add the vegetables. I dropped in my potatoes and my carrots and I let it cook another hour. While that was cooking, I went ahead and worked on my white rice. I just added some rice to a pot and some margarine and let it go. I let that cook until it was done. And then I started working on my cornbread. I used Krusteaz. I'm not a Jif girl. I love Krusteaz. And I simply followed the instructions on the box. It turned out nice and golden brown as it always does. I encourage you to try Krusteaz. Once the cornbread was done, dinner was served. Thanks for watching and I hope you'll try it.